Everyone to the Lucky Shots podcast, the Lucky Bets podcast. We got Dylan Corbett here right before Christmas. Dylan, you got any Christmas plans?
Yeah, actually, I think like most people actually heading out of town, heading to Chicago, going to meet up with the old in-laws. Found a dog sitter and looks like we're all set to go. Things are crazy right now in sports with Omicron and whatnot. But yeah, we're hoping to sneak in some holiday time. How about yourself?
Yeah, just headed back to Newcastle, hometown, small town Wyoming. Be headed there for a few days, but other than that, not a whole lot, Same
Right,
old.
no kidding. Just watching sports. We got NBA Christmas Day games. They're just putting out janitors and jerseys to get to the money. And how about some Christmas Day football too, which I'm excited about. NFL on Saturday.
Yeah. That's not something I remember happening in the past all
No.
that much at all. So be fun, Normally you gotta sit there and power through basketball. I
Right.
like basketball, but I'd much rather watch football during football season.
No kidding. I think most people agree as well.
Right. All right. So let's hop right in. We got a lot of close lines this week, actually. I made all of my picks yesterday and I was like, damn, these are all kind of tough, besides 3 or 4. You got the Jags and the Jets, pretty much a pick 'em game there. The over under at 41. I think the Jets, but I mean, who the fuck knows?
Total coin flip. People forget that Jacksonville was a 5.5-point favorite against Houston. That didn't really do anything. So maybe Urban Meyer wasn't the problem, right? No, he was obviously a total clown, but this team's just terrible. Trevor Lawrence, this dude is skating this year because of Urban Meyer taking all the headlines. He's not been good. I think it has been like 4 or 5, like a handful of weeks since this dude has thrown a passing touchdown. Yeah, everyone thinking Jets. I mean, the Jets equally as bad as well. They just lost to the Dolphins. They did cover. You said it. This line is it's a coin flip. I mean, you might as well be better off flipping a coin, honestly, to pick this game. And we'll see if the coin gods land in your favor.
Yeah. Broncos and the Raiders, as of yesterday, was the same way, with an over under of 41.5. Now, let's be honest. Teddy Bridgewater isn't playing. The quarterback will be Drew Lock.
God damn it.
The Raiders looked halfway decent last week. I don't understand why this game is so close betting wise. I honestly think it's going to be the Raiders. Broncos, I mean, both their starting running backs are questionable. Yep. Plus, you have Drew Lock, who's just the dumbest fucking football player known to man.
He's so bad.
I don't understand why people are not high enough on the Raiders here.
Vegas tried to trick us last week when they made the Broncos a 3-point favorite at home against the Bengals. That game was over before it started. Crappy game. Bengals get it done. What's interesting is divisional battle. Broncos and Las Vegas has been really the same team. They're both 7-7, and they both have these win one game, nobody really cares about it, and then crap the bed the next week. Raiders, I mean, had no business winning that game against the Browns. That was such a bad, I mean, maybe that was my bias because I was on the Browns. Of course, I was on money line instead of the +3, so I ended up losing that bet. I'm on the Broncos. That's actually one of my picks. I know it stinks. They're on the road here, but Allegiant Stadium, it's indoors. Drew Lock just needs to keep it out of the enemy team's hands. Yeah, I mean, again, I think this defense plays. I don't think Las Vegas is very good. I think that win over the Browns is going to be a letdown spot for them. And I think much like the Broncos have been doing the last 4 weeks, lose to the Eagles, surprise beat the Chargers, lose to the Chiefs, destroy Detroit, which is looking better and better now that they're actually playing well, and then lose to the Bengals. So I think they bounce back this week. I'll take the +1.
All right. Then you got Indy and Arizona. This line is been moving from what I've been seeing, but as of last night, Arizona -120, Indy +100, spread of a single point and an over under of 49. I honestly, after watching how Arizona played last week, recency bias is like, what the hell are they doing? And you got the Colts, who are pretty hot right now. So I would lean the Colts here, even though they're not necessarily the favorite.
And you picked this game right on the head last time, where you were all over the Colts against the Patriots. That's indeed what happened. Yeah, Colts are a good team. Heck, they're a game back of the Titans. I saw one of this. There's this capper on Twitter. I think his name is Philly Godfather. Some of my buddies like worship him like a religion. I just think, everyone's a capper. No one's good at this thing, right? That we're all trying to find the edge. We're all trying to place money on sports we love. But I will say, like, this guy I saw, I kid you not, 2.5 months ago, he put down a 40-1 bet on the Colts to win the division when the Titans were like up 3 games. That is looking like the smartest thing I have ever seen in my life. I mean, it might happen. They lose Derrick Henry. Titans look like a shell of themselves, although not today. Everyone's thinking Arizona's done. Look at the teams that have lost to the Lions before, tied the Lions before. They bounce back the next week. Colts shouldn't have beat the Patriots, but they did. Good team. They're in Arizona. Everyone's panicking. Oh my God, the Cardinals are going to miss the playoffs. What? The NFC stinks. They're not going to miss the playoffs. They might lose that division, but I think they get a crucial win here at home against Indy. Yeah, I mean, coming off a loss against the Rams, you just lay a stinker at Detroit. But it's at Detroit. It's a sleepy game. I think Cliff Kingsbury and Kyler finally get right. Hopkins, I think, being out still certainly hurts them as well. I mean, everyone is so injured. If they could stop Jonathan Taylor, that's the key. You said it. Colts have been on fire. Their only loss in the last 5 weeks was that barn burner against Tampa. But I think Arizona gets it done at home here. I don't know why.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, their offense has just looked floundery the past 2 weeks, and your offense can't look like that when you're going against the Colts and that kind of a defense. I don't know. I'm a big guy that I love defenses.
Yeah.
And normally in a game where I'm like, which way am I going to go? I'll go to the better defense. So that's why I'm going Indy. Then we have Baltimore and Cincinnati. This game has a lot of implications. Cincinnati minus 140, Baltimore plus 120, spread of 2.5, over under only at 36.5. Let's go ahead and smash the over there.
Yeah.
But it's a battle for the division lead,
right.
Well, what's going to happen? Cincinnati, they got the job done last time against Baltimore. Now Baltimore is looking even more shaky than they were at that time. So is it again a Bengals week? I think so, but Tyler Huntley, fucking the best fantasy quarterback last week. So we'll see what he can do.
Yeah, I was staring at his name too forever as a streamer to pick him up, and I ended up going with Fields. I picked the wrong mobile quarterback to stream.
I could have told you not to go Fields. I mean,
oh God, I've got when we do my podcast, I've got a fantasy horror story of the playoffs that happened to me that you'll enjoy. Yeah, I agree with you, Bengals. I think that's the play there at home. They're a good team. I've said all year that they're the Cardinals of last year. Like a team like right on the precipice, young weapons. I think they finally break out next year. I mean, heck, they're already breaking out this year, but you said it, that division's a complete, 1 through 4. It's total mush. Still a long way to go. Huntley's very capable. Yeah. So he's going to be the guy to go. I feel for the Ravens, how injured they've been this year. I mean, that's a team that should be way better than they have been. And again, you look at their games. I mean, good Lord. Half their games, if they didn't have Justin Tucker, they'd be like a 4-win team. So that's the NFL this year. A ton of 7-win teams, 8-win teams. Everything's close. Everyone's injured. Divisional battle. I think I give the edge to Cincinnati, one of my favorite new home stadiums I got to enjoy 2 weeks ago now.
Yeah, and their DFS players are pretty budgetable, but we'll talk about that a little later. And then the final close line, Buffalo and New England. I'm not sure what the weather is going to be like because that played a huge factor in their last game.
Oh, yeah.
But, if the weather stays the same, is it the same game we saw, a few weeks ago? Or if it's a little better, do we see Buffalo kind of start passing the ball a little better? Because it's hard to throw the football in really shitty, windy weather.
Yep.
So they really couldn't do that. New England is the favorite, minus 140, Buffalo at plus 120, spread of 2.5, and an over-under of 43.5.
Looking at the weather right now, and this is just predictive right now, 11-mile-per-hour winds, 41 degrees, so not terrible. I would take, in terms of arm power, Josh Allen over Mac Jones. What's the game plan going to be for the Patriots? It looked like heck when they actually aired it out with Mac Jones against the Colts. Did that do them in? Do they go back to running the football? But their backfield super banged up too. Look, I'm rooting for Buffalo this year. I don't know what it is. Josh Allen, a Wyoming kid.
Sure.
We got to follow him throughout college and then his time in the NFL, in his rookie year and on when I was in South Dakota. Of course, you're still there as well. But, the hometown kid, he's I'm hoping to root for it. New England took the first game. I like to think that there's going to be a split with these two evenly matched teams. And look, Buffalo could be in a tie for the division lead. Everyone thought the Patriots were going to be the 1 seed. I think Buffalo gets the edge here for experience. I think Sean McDermott's going to come in with a game plan. I know he's going against the legend, Bill Belichick, and they're on the road. Let's go Bills. Maybe just a rooting play for me. I might just stand and watch a good game.
Gotcha. We'll power through these major lines here. We got the Chargers against Houston. Chargers, one of the bigger betting favorites this week, minus 475. Houston at plus 350. Spread of 10, over under a 46. And you got Washington and Dallas. Dallas, I guess you could say they are the biggest betting favorite, minus 475, plus 350 for Washington, but a spread of 11, over under a 47.5. Tampa Bay and Carolina. Tampa Bay at minus 450. Carolina at 340. Spread of 10, over under 44. And then you got the Eagles and the Giants. Eagles sitting at minus 435. The Giants plus 330. Spread of 9.5. Over under 47.5.
Sorry, I'm on the Chargers against the Texans coming off the win against Jacksonville. Chargers coming off their tough loss at Kansas City. I think they're going to blow them out. I'm on Tampa again. I want to get your thoughts on that because you were all over the Saints and the first time since Nick Saban in a Dolphins headset. Tom Brady was shut out in 15 years. I'm on Tampa to bounce back because I think Carolina's a joke. I think Matt Rule's a joke. I don't know why he fired Joe Brady. I think Matt Rule is the guy that should be on the hot seat there. 2 seasons in the books, and what has he done? He's got a billionaire owner who's rather impatient. And then with the Cowboys, so those are my 2 plays. I'm on Tampa and the Chargers. Cowboys, I'm one of the 4 remaining out of 110 survivor pool matchups. Cowboys are my pick. I was on the Eagles against the Washington football team. Now I'm on the Cowboys against them, but I just saw Heineke out of protocol. It's expected to start. That worries me a little.
Yeah, that definitely could help. Dallas barely squeaked it out last time, but that doesn't really show what happened for the first 3 quarters.
Exactly.
Dallas was dominating them. So I honestly think they'll be fine. Dallas is just a team that I work with Mr. Vic Quick, who is diehard Cowboys fan, and all I got to hear about is the Cowboys. So, I'm on the Cowboys, but I would love to see Washington win and see Dallas somehow fall all the way into a wild card spot. I don't think it's necessarily going to happen, but I'd love to see it. Yeah. Tampa Bay, I'm just a little worried. They don't have Chris Godwin now. As soon as he got hit, I was like, there goes his knee. And lo and behold, the next day, torn ACL. And then Mike Evans, who knows, if he's going to play. They do get back AB, more than likely. Gronk is still a great weapon. Scotty Miller even, Tyler Johnson. So they still got a lot of weapons. I think they'll be all right. Maybe it's a breakout moment now for Rojo if Fournette isn't a go, and
he's Fournette likely to be on the IR. And how about this, Rojo? You said it, looking to take over, but I read an article how he's just struggled with stepping up when Fournette's gone. How about Le'Veon Bell signing with the Buccaneers? Of course, because I read, speaking of funny articles, he's like, I was about to become a professional boxer, and then the Buccaneers called because, of course, everyone's doing that nowadays. So. Right. Yeah, it's just patchwork for the Bucs. Got to get there. They're going to win the division if they win this game, presumably against Carolina. They're battling with the Packers for the 1 seed, and they took a dent by getting shut out by the Saints.
Yeah, and as much as I was all over the Saints last week, I didn't actually pick them. I picked Tampa Bay, so then I was like, damn it, I should have just listened to my gut. But, things happen. The Cardinals screwed me over too, so, whatever. So my picks for this week, I'm going to Indy over Arizona. Give me the money line. Give me the spread. Buffalo over New England. Give me the money line and the spread. Miami over New Orleans, money line and spread. And then give me the Jets over the Jags, Raiders over the Broncos. Toss those on top, little sprinkles on top of my ice cream.
Yes, love it. We're head to head on two of those. I'm going Arizona against Indy -1. I've got Denver +1 at Las Vegas. Mentioned I'm on the Chargers -10.5 at Houston. Oh my God, I'm on all these road teams. Yuck. Tampa Bay -11.5 at Carolina. And I'm with you. Miami, hottest team in football right now. It's funny. They're hyper analyzing Tua the whole way because, he's a winner, but he's no Herbert. I mean, the stats aren't there. They protect him. They shield him.
Boy made the Pro Bowl.
Yes. They shield him like Ben Roethlisberger, but that defense plays. Brian Flores went from hot seat to back being his own. Good coach, defensive guy, Boston College's own. I do like rooting for him. I'm on Miami too. I grabbed them +3 yesterday, and I think that line is on the move because Trevor Siemian is in protocols. Oh, isn't it still Taysom Hill anyway? Right. Yeah, I guess
I would have more thought it was Taysom Hill anyway, but all right. So let's hop over into prop bets. Dylan, last week, you went 3-1. I went 2-2. So I've got 5. Hopefully I can overtake you. We haven't been keeping track of these. I just thought I would for last week, see what we did. Mr. Justin Herbert, Mr. Pro Bowler himself, going up against Houston or Jalen Hurts. These are all who's going to score more fantasy points. So Herbert or Hurts going against the Giants, more fantasy points.
Give me Hurts. He had the 2 rushing touchdowns against Washington after a really shaky start. I just think he's going to get it done on the ground. And if it is a Chargers blowout, Herbert's just going to hand the ball off. If not, sit, as we're getting late in the season.
Yeah. I feel like it's honestly the same place for both teams. I know that the Eagles, they have one less win, still trying to play to get into the wild card, but I got to go Herbert. First of all, I need a big week from him. Fantasy semifinals, I need that big week.
Yes.
I could see 3 or 4 touchdowns out of him. So we'll have to see, but Justin Herbert, 4 touchdowns, maybe 3 rushing, 1 or 3 passing, 1 rushing is still less than a Jalen Hurts game of last week, 2 passing, 2 rushing, rushing those count for more apparently. So I'm going to go with Herbert. So there we go. We're starting off different. I like it.
Yes. All right.
Austin Eckler against Houston. If he plays, he's currently in COVID protocol. So this could change. Or Dalvin Cook. I have here that he's against Minnesota. I don't know what the hell I was writing. I'm not sure who the Vikings are actually playing.
Hosting the Rams this week.
Rams. Okay, so who has more fantasy points there?
Yeah, Cook hasn't looked right the last couple of weeks since he came. Well, he blew up the Steelers, but didn't have the greatest of games this last time. Look, the Vikings they need to win this game. Sports talk radio here, the homerism, they're fired up. I just don't see it. I'm still on the Matt Stafford MVP train. I'm hoping, even though Cooper Kupp might be stealing some of his votes. Yeah, I guess I'll go Eckler just because I think they're going to turn to the run there, and Rams are going to give them a game no matter if it is in Minnesota or not. So I think they're going to be looking to. I just don't see Cook. He's so chalky right now. He's 9,000 more than the second best running back right now in the main slate of games. I'll go with the cheaper option there and say Eckler is a better game.
Yeah, I'm sticking on the Chargers for these. I'm going Eckler as well. Moving on to the wide receiver position, Deebo Samuel against Tennessee. I originally put Deontay Johnson, but it's Pittsburgh, not going to be as interesting. Let's go CeeDee Lamb against Washington. Who gets more fantasy points there? I think both guys are pretty evenly matched. Their projections are about the same as well.
Sorry, you said CD and I already blanked on the first one.
Deebo.
Debo, that's right. Ooh, I love me some Debo Samuel.
Yes, sir.
I'll go with a page out of your playbook there. I need him to have a big week. I like what Shanahan does with him, throwing, running, like straight up run plays with him, and one of the best run offense schemes we've ever seen. Um, I like Debo there to overtake CD. I'm a little worried about this Cowboys game now. I don't know what it is, like, because they won that first game, but they almost coughed it up at the end. Cowboys remind me of that team that ran into the Packers that year that the Falcons went to the Super Bowl, right? Dak, Zeke, weapons. They have a home game, and then they, don't perform in the playoffs. Yeah. So congrats to them for having a great year. Micah Parsons has been an absolute stud. Trevon Diggs. It's been funny because he's, by Pro Football Focus standards, one of the worst cornerbacks, but of course by interception standards, he's a ball hawker. But that's because teams are throwing his way. It's interesting. I think Dallas is good, but they're overachieving a bit.
Yeah. I'm going Debo as well. I as well need him to go off. So we'll bet on him for the good juju. And how about we petition, give him running back and wide receiver eligibility?
Needs to happen.
After these past few weeks, more rushing touchdowns than receiving touchdowns. Let's go ahead and give it to him,
Teams are scared of the 49ers. They don't want to see him in the playoffs, which is interesting. I mean, I would take Jimmy G, but I know people are afraid of Nick Bosa and company.
Yeah. Tight end position, Mark Andrews against Cincinnati or Travis Kelce against Pittsburgh. Who's got more fantasy points? Kelce was the top guy last week with 41. Andrews has consistently for, I think, 3 weeks now been top 5. Just absolutely ball hogging that offense. So who you got?
I'm going with Andrews. I watched most of that Ravens game. Huntley's it's the only guy you could throw to, and it's a good guy to throw to. A huge target out of Stanford, one of these freak tight ends that we've come to know and love over the course of the last 5 years or so. You said it, Kelce coming off the huge performance. I could see the Steelers in a must-win game really locking down. And I think no matter what, even if the Ravens are trailing, leading, they're just going to keep peppering shit Andrews' way.
Yeah. And I just like the matchup against Cincinnati better for Andrews than I do Pittsburgh and Kelce. It's just kind of hard, with both of them having pretty much the same role. If Pittsburgh starts shutting down everything else, but Kelce's getting the ball, then, it's tough, but I see Andrews more, and I like the matchup there, so I'm going to go Andrews as well. And then one little last factoid kind of prop bet. Cooper Kupp, okay, he only needs 27 more receptions and 339 yards to break the single season reception and receiving yards record. He's got 3 games to do it. So divide that by 3. Does he get 9 catches for 113 yards in this game?
9 catches for 113 yards. Yeah, it's kind of crazy. I mean, Cooper Kupp's having an incredible year. It's like, is it Stafford? Because we know he's been a good receiver, but we didn't know he was this good. Yeah, my goodness, he's like Jonathan Taylor. He's running away with it. You know what? I'll say, God, his targets and receptions are just crazy. I think he's going to get the yardage record. I don't think he's going to get the touchdown. So I will say no.
Yeah, the touchdowns he's very far away from.
Right.
The receptions is what he's on.
Yeah, okay.
So, if you look at it, he's got a lot of 9 reception games this year. So I'll go ahead and take it. I'll take 9 for 113 for the next 3 games. I'll take that all 3 games, and I'll see him break the record. So
yeah, why not go for it? I mean, that's a record that has stood for some time now. And if you're already this far, and he's such a vital part of your offense, my goodness, he has 20 more targets than the second guy in the league, Tyreek Hill.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Not even close there. The reception record is only 2 years old, held by Michael Thomas.
Right. I hate
yards record, 9 years old, held by Megatron.
That's what I thought.
Yep.
And what is that? 1913 or something? 1,900.
Yeah, something like that. Something close to that. possibly breaks 2,000 yards. We'll see. I don't know.
I think that's possible. The way he's going, for sure. Hell of a season.
Yeah, for sure. And then finish off with some budget DFS. I said I was kind of on the Bengals a little bit and that their DFS players pretty budgetable this week. Let's go Joe Burrow at quarterback, going up against Baltimore for 5,900. He had 30.6 the last outing against Baltimore, and he was actually $300 more expensive at that time.
Wow.
So go ahead and give him to me there. And then who's his counterpart? Well, give me CJ Uzama for 3,000 against Baltimore. He had 24.1 in their last game, and he was the same exact price. So
okay,
let's go ahead and stack those two and see where that takes us.
Quarterback, I'm going with Jalen Hurts. I don't know why he's only 6,400 going against the Giants. I guess because he's still banged up. I think he's going to go. I think the Eagles they just lost head coach Nick Sirianni for coach. He tested positive the day after we saw him roaming the sidelines. The NFL's a mess right now. This could all change by the time we post this. But I'll go with Hurts. I think Joe Judge is up there with Matt Rule as a complete buffoon. I think the Giants how about the Giants? Where the New York football is right now with the Jets and Giants. The Giants gave out as Fan Appreciation Day medium sodas to their season ticket holders, and it's just one per group. So if you had 6 season tickets, you had one medium Coke to share. These guys can't get anything right. Dave Gettleman's a fool. I think Hurts is going to rip them apart, and I think he gets some value there.
There you go. My running back, I'm going to go the guy in that backfield, Miles Sanders. Only 5,600 going up against the Giants. His last 2 outings, 20.2 and 19.6. I'll ride the train, Giants, what is their defense? Nothing really.
Trash.
So go ahead and let's see Miles Sanders run for another 20, and I'll be happy with that.
Yeah, I think Sanders looked good watching that game for the Eagles. I wanted to do this last week, and for some reason I didn't, but James Robinson actually had a decent game, right? He found the end zone. 5,900 looks like DraftKings and FanDuel, et cetera, Daily Fantasy are kind of counting for the Jets and him starting to have a little bit of resurgence here. But I still think you're going to get a solid 16 from him. Hopefully you can, if the Jaguars do somehow surprise things and beat the Jets. Aren't they? Both teams are kind of playing for that 1 seed, right? I know this is the draft right now where it's not quarterback. It's not life-changing that you get the first overall. In fact, I would rather not get the first overall and see what the other team does. But I think James Robinson's going to have a decent, Trevor Lawrence has said it. Lawrence is crapping the bed this year, but he knows that James Robinson's the best player on the field for them. Hand it off, find the end zone in this crap game, and let's see if we can get some points.
Yeah. Then to finish off my budgets, we got wide receiver position. No DeAndre Hopkins. Give me some Christian Kirk. He's only 5,600 going up against Indy, and he had 24.4 last week. So
yeah,
if you put 30 from Joe Burrow on the board, 20 from Sanders, 20 from Kirk, 20 from Uzama, that's a great.
You're in the money.
It's a great start right there. So go ahead and give me Christian Kirk.
Love it. Last one for me. I'll just give you a receiver here. Guy we talked about, AB. Don't forget, he's coming back. Bruce Arians. History has changed. You know why history has changed? Because Tom told you it does.
Yeah.
He wants AB there. He needs AB. He's only 4,900. Who else are they going to throw to? It's going to be Scotty Miller, which I know Tom Brady liked Scotty Miller, I guess, but there's some plays where he's just, he's throwing the tablet. He's like, why, what's happening? Who's around me? Why am I getting shut out by the Saints? Look to AB he might be going against Gilmore, right? Maybe they can move him around, get him in the slot, move him from end to end and see if he can have a big game. I mean, he should be rested, right? Because he's coming off the suspension from the vaccine passport shit. The fake card, but Tommy Two Shoes comeback here against Carolina.
Yeah, and he's a guy that I'll talk about in your show. So, that's it for today, folks. Thanks, Dylan, for joining. If y'all got ugly Christmas sweaters, let's see them.
Yeah, I missed your text right as we signed on. I'm sorry, I would have thrown on my BC, but it's hideous, so I don't want the viewers to turn away. My hideous sweater.
And yesterday I said, there's Christmas basketball. If you want to watch that instead of football, go ahead. No. If you don't like football, I don't know why you're watching the show, but
right.
Then I turn around and I put on a Bulls ugly Christmas sweater. So what am I? Anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to you, Dylan, and we'll see you next week.